Hello CreateStudio user. In this tutorial I want to show you, or I will show you, how to create a bevel and emboss effect in CreateStudio free. With this tutorial you get, as always, a freebie, and the freebie for this tutorial is this light tunnel animation, which I think is fine for logo animation or something like that. Let's stop it. And if you want to change the background, which is in this case black because it's an MP4 file, you can go with the blend mode screen, which erases the black parts of the video, or if it's an image, also for an image. And then you can go with another canvas color. Let's go with something like this here. You see, light colors make no sense here. In this case, let's go with something like this. And with the effects, you can also change the color of the rings. Therefore, I go to Effects and go with U rotation. And now I have the possibility here to change the color of the rings. And I also can go with color correction, pump up the saturation a little bit if I want, give a little gamma or a little less gamma, and so contrast. It's up to you. Okay, let's begin with the tutorial. I delete here these blocks, go with a resolution square, and with the canvas color I go to a middle gray, which is 80-80-80 color code. Then let's bring in a square. You can do this with all types of shapes, also with images, with videos, or also with texts. But I want to go here with a square of 40% with rounded corners. And for the color I go to my reference image in Affinity Designer. You see it here. I have here the bevel effect, or the inner bevel effect, here on this rectangle or square. And let's go for the color. Let's take this color here. And now bring it in here. Okay. This is now my square for the inner bevel effect. Therefore, I have to go, as you see in the reference, I have to create highlight, inner highlight and inner shadow. Let's begin with inner highlight. Therefore, I duplicate this here. And because I also have to go with blend modes, so I go here in this case for the highlight. Let's rename this and call this highlight, or let's say inner bevel highlight. I go with the square color to black. Then to the effects with inner shadow, color of the inner shadow white, opacity, let's go about 75%. The angle is okay with 135. Go to the reference. And you see here also 135. And you also see here the blend modes. This is green for the highlight and multiply for the shadows. And they are at 75%. So we can orientate on this. Let's go back here. And for the distance, I tried numerous numbers. What works great is 6 and 4. And with the blur, we go with the half of it. Or better, we go with the distance twice the blur. So let's go here with 4. Sometimes you have to hit enter twice. And with the blur to 2. So I have now this highlight here, and to erase the black here, I go with the blend mode screen. So now I have here the highlight. If you want this highlight a little darker, you can go back to inner shadow, and let's go down a little bit more with the opacity. Now let's go to the shadows. Therefore I duplicate the highlight. Let's rename it and call it shadow. Okay, and here we make the opposite of the highlight. So let's first go to color of the rectangle. We go here to white. With the inner shadow effect color, we go to black. We leave the opacity. With the angle, the opposite of 135 is plus 180 degrees. So we are at 315 degrees. So you see now the shadow is here. And distance and blur is okay. Then we go to settings, blend mode, and multiply. Multiply will erase the white parts. And now we are ready with our inner bevel. You see here, it's not the same, but I think it's mostly the same. Okay, let's now go and bring this here to the upper left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next effect I want to show is the outer bevel. Therefore, I need the square again. So I duplicate it and bring it up. I leave here one track so that I know where I am. And for the outer bevel, we go with shadows. Not with the inner shadow, we go with shadows. They behave a little different, so it's a little trickier when I later go with the emboss, but you will see. Let's bring now this here to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go and zoom a little in here. And as I said, we go here with shadow. So I make here a duplicate. And shadows are below the shape. So I have to go with the block below. And let's call this outer bevel shadow. Okay. With the color of the rectangle, I go here with a neutral color, which is the color of the canvas here. And I make this gray. And now let's go to the shadow tab. And here we go with the opposite. For the inner shadow, we make 4 and 2 for distance and blur. And here we make 2 and 4. 2 and 4. And let's go also up with the opacity. Let's go think something like this. Let's go to our reference. When I go here to outer bevel, you see here the shadows and here the highlight. Let's go back here. And I think this is okay with the opacity. Something like this. Let's go out and make another duplicate. Go on this one here, rename it as highlight. And here I go with the opacity, with the opposite. Go here with white. With the angle plus 180 degrees, 315. You see everything's okay. And now I have here my bevel. If you change here the order, I think this will this make something? I think yes. You can choose what you like more. You see the shadow is a little lighter here as with this. Yes, I think first go with shadow and then with highlight in the order here. I think this is okay. Okay. Now I can group here the first one. Let's group it and call this inner bevel. And this here outer bevel. When I go back to Affinity Designer and go now to Emboss, you will see that this is a combination of inner bevel and outer bevel. And when I go here to Pillow, here they changed here the shadow and highlight orientation. And I will begin with this because the emboss is very tricky. So let's go first to the pillow. I think I go here with other colors. Let's begin here with, let's say, green. And with this I go, let's say, with a red one. Something like this. Yes, I like it. Okay. Let's now duplicate these two because it's also combination, the pillow effect. So I duplicate this. And let's bring this here up. and remove excess tracks. And here we make a track below so that I have a little room here. And the inner bevel should be above, as you see here, above the outer bevel. So I go here up. Now I go and bring this down. And with the inner bevel, I go here above the outer bevel. You see here, and this is the problem with the emboss effect, that you have here this small line. This will be a problem. I'll show you how you can get rid of it, but you can go perfectly rid of it. But let's go to this later. Let's open now. I think I open the outer bevel. I think the inner bevel I don't have to open, to ungroup. Because what I not need here is this square here. I can delete this square. You see nothing has changed. You see also that I lost here. I go here and disable auto compact tracks. Go here with 2 tracks below. So I'm now fine. And here with the outer bevel shadow and the outer bevel highlight, you have to go with the opposite direction, and this is all you have to do to get this pillow effect. So I go here to shadow and go with 315. You see now that it's changed. And the same I make here with highlight, shadow 135. So now I have this nice pillow effect, and this small darker line does not have an impact on this, other with the pillow. Okay, let's now group this and give it another color here. I go here with, let's say, something like this here. Yes, I like it. And rename it to pillow. And here I make a duplicate, bring this down, move this to the left here. Let's go for another color. I think in this case I make it blue, something like this. Okay, let's ungroup this. Here I also need to ungroup the inner bevel. Before I make this the opposite here of this outer again, shadow 135, and here shadow 350. So, okay. Now you see here this small line. Therefore, I have to ungroup the inner bevel group here. And the first step is here to go with edge feather. Let's bring this here down. And with the strength, I go to a minimal strength here with point, let's try 0.1. Okay. What you now see is not blue, you see now gray. And this is the square of the outer bevel shadow and highlight. So I have to go with them a little in. I could show you this. Let's go here and let's go with the canvas color to white. You see now that there is no line here. When I go and put this in, you see here this line. So the problem is from these two squares here. So let's go back with the canvas color. 80, 80, 80. And let's go with this here and scale it a little bit down. You can watch this here now. I hope you see this little line. If you can live with this little line, you don't have to do this edge feather for the square or now this upscaling for the outer bevel shadow and highlight. If you can live with it, everything's okay, but I can't. So I go with 39 point, let's say 8. If you go with 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it could be that you have to do this twice. You see that the bounding box is now smaller than before. When I go back to 40, you see the bounding box is now here, and I go here. I think I can go with 39.9. Okay, nothing changed, but I hope when I go with the outer bevel on the same 39.9, now you see it's away. The line is away. It's a little from the edge feather of the square. You see here a little white line, but with this I can live. Okay, and when you scroll out, you see a little line here, but I don't have a solution to get rid of this. It's maybe not in the rendering, I don't know, but with this solution I can live. Okay. Let's keep this open because I want to show you that you also can add textures from images or videos here to this squares here. And as I said, you can do this with images, other shapes, videos, and also text. I don't try it with characters, with cartoon characters or something, but I think it also works here on characters. 2D characters, 3D don't need this. Okay, let's go and let's say I want to go here with a texture. Therefore, I rename this and let's call this track mat. Because I take this square and use it as a track mat, then I go with a track below, go to my folder, and then I think this would also be nice. I make this with this here. Go with image first. let's go with this texture here. I like this texture. You see it here, and let's go to track matte and square track matte. Alpha. And now I have this nice texture here on this, let's call it button here. If you want, you can then go with filters on this texture or with color correction. What you like, you can do then with this, and you can replace this. Let's go with another texture with something like this here. Also nice. And you here see more of the, you see, more. I think this is gray. I look if I got here a problem. It's in. It's in. When I go to the square here, when I go with track matte, let's go and go away with the feather. Now this makes no difference here. So let's go back here and try it with, let's go to 39. And let's go here to 39. So I see if this is, no, makes no difference. Let's go back. 0.9. You see, you have to do it twice. And here also go to, I don't trust it. Okay, don't know where this comes from here. Is it a texture or? It seems to be the texture here because the texture is so dark, but I have to live with it. I don't like to live with it, but Emboss, this is the fourth time I make this tutorial, or the fourth take I make of this tutorial, and I'm a little frustrated here with Emboss. But okay, I have to live with it. So let's now go with another image here, and I'll show you can also make then, let's go with this landscape, you can also make an animation with it, no problem. So you then have this button with an animation. Let's go with linear and position. Bring this here to the end. Or not quite the end here. Let's go here. A little bit back here. Okay. And here we go and bring this to the right. I think it's the wrong direction, but let's play it. Ah, it's okay. So you can make an image animation with it, or let's group this. This is pillow. Or you can go here with pillow and with a video. Therefore, I have to ungroup it. And also I have to ungroup. Let's go below. Also the inner bevel. So this square is now my track mat. Okay. I think I don't show you here. Again, inner, outer bevel, emboss. You don't have here this line. Okay. And pillow here. I think we are good here with this. It's not perfect. You can't get perfection here. I hope there will be a time when the CreateStudio team will implement this bevel and emboss here in the software. And I go here, track below, and let's put here a video in. I think let's go with this here. Let's see what it's like. Let's shrink it down. Here, and I go here with the Alt or Option key and go with this. And now, ta-ta, I go with track mat here. This is square track mat. I hope I have only one here. Yes, square track mat. Alpha. Oh. That's the way. I like it. And you can take also other videos. Let's go back to global and replace. Let's go with something like this here. I think it's nice. And again, third time, you can do this with all kinds of shapes, with images, videos, and also with text. Okay, I think I'm through. And I hope this will help you. Thank you and goodbye.